This is continuing our series of starting now for an epic 2024. So the last video, I talked about the idea of making sure that we take the lessons from last year so that they inform us for the current year. So here's the next tip that I want to share. Beware of all or nothing thinking. Now, you've heard me, if you've been around me for a while, you've heard me talk about this before. And yet again, this is a really critical time to pay attention to it. It is not unusual, you may be part of the group, that we roll around to January, whether we call them resolutions or goals or results, but we have things we are going to accomplish this year. We are excited and we are motivated. We're going to go to the gym. And then what tends to happen? I read recently is gyms oversell the number of memberships, like by a tremendous amount, knowing that only a fraction of the people that actually have a gym membership are likely to continue showing up. So the beginning of January, and I think the article said into the beginning of February, there's going to be lots of people at the gym. And somewhere around mid-February, the number of people again drop off. So they make money on our enthusiasm and our certainty that this year is going to be different. So that's where beware of all or nothing thinking comes in. We can begin with all of this enthusiasm and excitement, and we're sure that we're going to do A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, whatever the way that you organize your thoughts and your lists, and we're just going to get after it this year. And quite honestly, frequently, we are enthusiastic, and yet it's unsustainable. The likelihood of us successfully taking on all of those things and accomplishing all of that and going to the gym 6 days a week is quite small. So what do? We are careful to watch our all or nothing thinking. Yes, going to the gym 6 days a week, I'm guessing, is great if we have the correct program. And yet going to the gym twice a week is certainly better than not going at all. I shared last week that December for me was very chaotic, and some of it was challenging. So it was very easy for me to come in initially into the new year and I'm going to catch up. December did not go as planned. There were things I did not get done. I am now going to just lean in and muscle through. Unfortunately, I stopped myself. Not sustainable. That's all or nothing thinking. There was a lot I didn't get done in December, so then I switched to I'm going to do it all. I'm going to catch up by doing it all. So really look at what is it that you want to accomplish, and then what can we do to begin? What can we do to begin? It may be slow. And in fact, I've decided after December that I'm giving myself the month of January to get everything back on track. My video production back where it should be, my emails scheduled ahead of time, some of the back end processes of my business in place, all the Christmas decorations put away and my storage room organized. That really thinking that I was going to do this in a week or in a few days was setting myself up for failure. And doing nothing, that's also not a plan for success. So I started asking the question, what can I do? And really, how long? What's realistic? I don't mind pushing myself a bit, but what is really something that I can sustain and get back to where I want to be, to have a bit more margin than I currently have? Now, I decided for me it was a month because this disruption in December impacted all areas of my life, not just business. So beware of all or nothing thinking. If you've not been going to the gym or you've not been eating well, deciding you're going to do it 7 days a week and you're going to go all in right at the beginning, for many of us, that's a recipe for disaster. So what is between all that we want to do and what we think would be ideal and doing nothing? Find somewhere in there, and that's the place to begin. We can always add more later. But if we stop going to the gym or stop eating correctly or anything else that we have in mind we need to change, it's harder to get going again. We are really far better to start somewhere, doing something, and then keep increasing it as we go along. I'm going to suggest for you that you do the same as me. Be very careful this year with our enthusiasm, that our enthusiasm does not translate into we're either going to do it all or we're going to give up and decide, oh, maybe next year. So beware of all or nothing thinking, and I'll see you with the next tip soon.